cracking, gang? It's T Nasty and I'm back with another banger for you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I love some MMA memes. Those who know me know that I am a meme master. And one of the best MMA memes I've ever seen is this one right here. So for today's video, we're going to be making out our own version of this meme. I'm going to be going through and picking the best fighter to represent each body part and fighter attribute. Piece by piece, building the most unstoppable, destructive, powerful, dangerous, absolutely test maxed, and of course aesthetically pleasing ultimate UFC fighter. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but once I start explaining myself, I think it will. So let's not waste anybody's time here, boys. We're getting right into it. To start off, we're going to pick the best fighters for each body part. First, we have the hair. Now, there have been a lot of UFC fighters with great hair over the years. I have a whole video roasting the worst UFC fighter hairstyles, so go check that out. But as for the best, I gotta go with salon quality Dustin Poirier. His hair is always looking good, so we're doing Dustin Poirier hair. As for the head, I'm gonna go for Cain Velasquez. He just has a crazy head shape. I'm going for more functionality than looks in this one, gang. His head just looks solid as fuck, and if we were building the ultimate MMA fighter, he needs a hard ass head, so we're going with Cain Velasquez's head. Now when it comes to the eyes, I'm going to have to go outside the box for this one. We're going to take Michael Bisping and Shar Magomedov's good eyes and put them both on our fighter. Hear me out. They had to adopt to only having sight in one eye, so both of their eyes together will provide the most perfect 20/20 vision that will give our fighter the vision advantage over any opponent who just has normal eyes. Now for the jaw and or chin, we have to go with my boy Drew Dober. This man is literally the crimson chin. This one is an obvious choice. The single most test maxed Giga Chad jawline in the entire UFC. About to have this man looking like handsome Squidward with this exquisitely crafted jawline. And then to cap off the head of our creative fighter, we need the perfect facial hair. There are a lot of good beards in the UFC, but I'm going to have to go with one that is a combination of function and aesthetic. We're taking Paul Craig's beard. It is absolutely chiseled and a picture perfect beard. He looks exactly like the stereotypical Giga Chad with that thing. He said on the BYM podcast that he keeps it proper condition with pussy juice, which just couldn't be more based. It also is just a full ass beard that looks solid as hell and will help absorb damage for sure. So we're going to go with Paul Craig's facial hair. Now moving on to the body. We start with the shoulders, and this one is just a given. We have to go with the most lethal shoulders in UFC history. He literally destroyed Cowboy Cerrone's face with shoulder strikes in like 30 seconds. Not only that, but he has very defined, perfectly shaped shoulders. No homo, of course. You already know he can rip out lat presses and overhead raises like it's nothing. Deadly, strong, aesthetically pleasing. We have to go with Conor McGregor's shoulders. Next up, for the right arm, we have to go with a man who has one of the most crushing, powerful right punches in UFC history. He also just had very well sculpted arms, great biceps and triceps, as well as strong forearms. Once again, no homo. Anthony Rumble Johnson had some of the nicest arms with the most dangerous power in his right hand in UFC history. We're going with Rumble Johnson's right arm. Now for the left arm, we have to go with a man who has one of the best left hands in history. Initially, I was thinking Alex Pereira, and then I thought Conor McGregor, but then I remembered an OG. Johnny Hendricks used to deliver absolute bombs with his left hand. That man had devastating power with his left and would starch guys back in the day. So I'm going with Johnny Hendricks' left arm. Then for the hands, I had a tough choice. I thought about Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. Shout out to my boy Adam, that's his favorite fighter. I thought about Hands of Stone, Alex Poatan Pereira. But I'm going with a man who not only has devastating power like both of those guys and causes mass destruction with his fists, but he also just has absolutely massive gorilla hands. His punches are disgustingly powerful, and his fists are fucking massive. You guys know what they say about big hands. Big gloves. Not only would they be good for fighting, but I could palm a basketball easily if I need to go play some pickup. I'm going with Francis Ngannou's hands. Now for the chest. We need someone with a big, powerful chest, but it also has to be sculpted by the gods for our ultimate creative fighter. I thought about going with Izzy Fradesanya's guy no titty, but that's only on one side. In the end, I decided to go with Joaquin Buckley's chest. Look at this motherfucker's chest, bro. He has straight up titties. Those things are massive and could probably do some damage in a fight. They are so big and so solid. That man's chest is huge. We're going with Joaquin Buckley's pecs. Now we also got to go ahead and add Jairzinho Rozenstruik's nipples. Hear me out, guys. This dude has fucking diamond cutters. They are rock hard at all times. I don't know if he's cold or horny, but those things will play a major advantage in a fight. If any of those crotch-sniffing motherfuckers try and wrestle, we can use the razor-sharp Rozenstruik nipples to slice them up. Not only that, but the sheer size of those areolas will be a major distraction to our opponent. I'm going with Jairzinho Rosenstruck nipples. Next up, for the abs, we need somebody with the most chiseled, washboard abs to represent our extremely high testosterone levels and sheer work ethic. My creative fighter won't even know what carbs are, so he has to have incredible abs. There are some nice ones in the UFC, once again, no homo, but we are going to have to pick the best of the best. I hate to say it, but I'm going to take Aljamain Sterling's abs. No homo once again, but his abs are perfectly sculpted and exactly what we need for our creative fighter. Lastly, before we move on to the lower half, as for body hair, our fighter, of course, is going to be absolutely test maxed, testosterone just bursting through our veins, so we need to have a lot of thick, dark body hair, almost like a werewolf. For this one, it's an obvious choice. We have to go with a man with the highest natural testosterone level in the whole UFC right now, the Georgian god Roman Dolidze. His chest hair is like a carpet, which will also play to our advantage, causing friction and possibly even smelling like shit, which is another crotch-sniffing Dagestani rat repellent, which is perfect. Moving on to the lower body, we start with the most important part, the ass. Those who know me in real life, y'all know I'm caked up on another level, but unfortunately I am not, nor have I ever been a UFC fighter, so I cannot choose myself. Within the UFC, there is one man's ass for the job. Ovince St. Preux has insane cake. That dude is cheeked up to the max, which is perfect. It can be used as a weapon or a distraction. It's just that large. I'm going with Ovince St. Preux's ass. Now, for the meat, arguably the second most important part. Originally, I thought about going with Brian Ortega, but that is just a cut. He does have a massive bulge when he fights, but I don't think it's from his meat. I'm going with a man that is proven to have an absolute hammer on him. He even has used it in a fight before. I'm going with Cyril Gane. Bro, what the fuck even is this video? Let's get more serious here, guys, with the legs. Starting with the right leg, I'm going with Jose Aldo's leg. He used to obliterate guys with his kicks. Aldo may be one of the hardest kickers pound for pound in UFC history. For our fighter, we have to have the most dangerous bag of weapons we have, and so we got to take advantage of Jose Aldo's right leg. And for the left leg, I think this one is obvious. We're going with Mirko Cro Cop left leg. Left leg cemetery, enough said. I'm giving him Mirko Cro Cop's left leg, and I refuse to elaborate any further. I'm also going to add on Jorge Masvidal's knee, one of the fastest and most powerful knees in UFC history. We need to have the most ultimate knee to have the most ultimate fighter. And then lastly, for the feet, we have to take Alexa Grasso's feet. All my fellow Grasso simps know she has beautiful feet and delightful toes. She also can do some damage with those things. We're giving him Alexa Grasso feet. Now, to finish him off, pause, we have to give him the ultimate fighter attributes. Starting with testosterone levels, we are creating the most test-maxed, elevated testosterone, Giga Chad fighter of all time to represent myself and all my wonderful subscribers. So we need to go with a man with frightening testosterone levels. We are taking TRT Belfort testosterone. This one is an obvious choice. Vitor Belfort was in his 40s with testosterone levels doubling men in their 20s. Absolutely juiced to the gills. Next, for the chin or ability to take damage. If I would have made this video a month ago, I would have picked Max Holloway. But his chin has been cracked now, so I have to pick somebody else. I'm going with the man who has taken shots from some of the hardest hitters pound for pound in the whole UFC. I've been able to eat them all. He's never been knocked down in like 20 UFC fights. This man, Chito Vera, could get hit in the head with a baseball bat and not go down. I'm going with Chito Vera's chin. Now, for heart and or toughness, this one is an obvious choice. A man who would never quit on himself, an Australian badass. This man Volk was in 2 tight-ass submissions against Ortega and refused to tap. Our ultimate fighter has to have Volkanovski's heart. Now for boxing, I mean, come on. This man Ilia Topuria is a demon. His boxing is so crispy, nasty combinations, beautiful body work. His punching technique is as close to perfect as you can get. I don't know how he developed such good boxing, but there's not a doubt in my mind anymore. This man has the best boxing in the entire UFC. I'm going with Ilia Topuria's boxing. And then kickboxing is another obvious choice. We're going with Alex Poatan Pereira. He is one of the best kickboxers of all time, probably the best kickboxer in UFC history. I mean, his accomplishments speak for themselves, but his technique is just perfect. He uses the leg kicks amazingly. He has nasty head kicks as well, and his kickboxing is just as good as it gets. I'm going with Alex Pereira kickboxing. Now for Muay Thai, this one is tough for me. You guys know I'm a Muay Thai style fighter, so I'm a stickler for good Muay Thai technique. There are two obvious choices, and I'm torn between them. Rafael Fiziev and Khalil Roundtree have the best classic Muay Thai striking styles in the whole UFC. Khalil is a little bit more true to it, using his kicks a lot more than Fiziev, who, tends to box a little more. But both guys have dangerous Muay Thai styles. I'm going to personally go with Fiziev, as he is a coach at Tiger Muay Thai. So he obviously is very well versed in the culture, and his style is just nasty. And he has a sweet switch kick like yours truly. I'm going with Rafael Fiziev Muay Thai. Then for wrestling, we have to go with Islam Makhachev's wrestling. He would probably out-wrestle anybody in the UFC, regardless of weight, maybe even submit them too. But that man just has insane wrestling ability. It goes without saying. Islam Makhachev wrestling. Then we have to go with probably the best BJJ artist in UFC history. Someone who had many UFC submissions and also was never really submitted himself. And he stuck true to his BJJ style, which may have hurt him, but he got to a very high level MMA while only using his BJJ. Most other guys, they start to strike once they get better. But I'm going to go with Damian Maia's BJJ. As for footwork, I have to go with Dominic Cruz. Widely regarded as the best footwork and movement specialist in UFC history. He started to get figured out towards the end of his career, but Cruz had amazing footwork and changed the game with his style. Dominic Cruz footwork. And for movement, I'm going to take the opportunity to glaze my boy Sean O'Malley a bit. I'm done being upset about UFC 306. I haven't glazed him in a while, but I'm back. Sugar Sean has the best movement in the UFC, hands down. I do not care what you guys say in the comments. It's just facts. He can fight going forwards, arguably even better going backwards, side to side. He's always creating angles, always moving. He can hit you when you least expect it. I'm taking Sean O'Malley movement. The last attribute I'm going to give my ultimate creative fighter is aura. He has the gorgeous aesthetic looks and chiseled godlike physique. He has the maximum testosterone levels humanly possible. He has the best physical attributes and the highest level skills from each fighting style with the most dangerous weapons. The only thing he is missing is aura. The fighter with the most aura has to be Alex Pereira. This man just has a force field of danger around him. He just commands respect. The god of unspoken riz. I'm going with Alex Pereira aura. So those are the body parts and physical attributes that I would use to create the ultimate UFC fighter. This man would be the GOAT without a doubt. He would absolutely be unstoppable and break every UFC record with ease. The most skilled, high level, test maxed, dangerous, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, dominant, and greatest fighter to ever exist. Let me know down in the comments how you guys would create the ultimate fighter. Let me know if you disagree with any of my takes so I can see how many delusional people there are out there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, become a member, duplicate your account, and then repeat those steps for me. As always, if you are not doing those things, you are just a casual with all due respect. I'm out. Take it easy, gang.